We've been at home all week. Y'all probably wondering where Mondays and Wednesdays video was. Well, I've been tinkering around out here on the farm. So I had to do a little farm work. Had to cut weeds and thistles, chop down thistles and things like that. Had to mend the fence and a few other things like that. And first couple days I was home, I was running errands and all that. So I've been kind of busy doing other things and nothing I figured would make too good of a video. But I figured I better get one up for Friday today. So I've been out here working on the van. One of the things I've made is these panels, okay, and they go up underneath the storage, like underneath the TV and underneath that little swing out desk. Anyway, there's some storage up underneath there for different stuff. I don't know what I'm going to put up there, but there's something to put, there's always something to be put away. And I built these things, and what it is just plywood that's stained. It's cabinet grade quality plywood, and I stained it and everything. And I put red oak trim around here, just 1.5 inch by about 1/8 inch thick. Actually, what I did is I used some other stock, some stock like this. It's 1x2s, which is actually 1/2 by 1.5 or something, 3/4 by 1.5. Anyway, I had to rip some of this stuff, and I had several pieces, so I thought, well, might as well use it somewhere. So we decided to use it on this door here. Some of the stuff is on this door and on that door there. So basically, it's a piece of plywood with a 1x8 or 1.5 by 8 trim around there. Anyway, I put it all together, glued it all up, let it sit overnight, and it's all done. All I got to do is polyurethane it. Then I went to the store, thought, well, I need to put some hinges, and I'm going to use these little knobs like this. Put a knob on here, put some hinges, and just swing it open, just like you would a cabinet door. Well, then I went down to the store to find hinges. The best hinge I could find for this application was one like this right here. And I'm not going to open these up because I'm going to take them back because I'm not going to use them. I thought it would work pretty good, except they won't quite fit the profile with this little trim here. They're not really made for this. I mean, they're made for a different kind of setup. This little lip is a little too much. So I'm going to take these back. I'm like, how am I going to get this straight here? Okay. So how am I going to put hinges on there? Well, then I thought, I've got these magnets. They're neodymium ring magnets. They look like a washer, but they're magnets. They're real strong neodymium magnets. Well, they got 12 of them. All right, well, what I do is I could take this Forstner bit, drill into the wood in the 4 corners, and then glue with this Gorilla epoxy or just regular Gorilla glue, and glue them in there. And then the door would just magnetically stick on there. When I need to get something, just pop it off, grab whatever I want, and then magnets right back up. It's a good idea. So that's what I decided to do. Well, I had these, and there's only 12 to a pack. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 corners times 2, because there'd be magnets on the inside on the cabinet itself, and 4 on the door and 4 on the cabinet. That's 8 times 2 is 16. I only got 12. So what am I going to do? I know what I can do. If I lost them, where'd they go? They're somewhere around here. I'll find them. What I did is I took a washer and I cut a washer in half and in half in quarters. And I had these little bitty washers that would fit, but they weren't magnetic. I don't know, maybe they're out of aluminum or something, or maybe stainless steel, and they just didn't have a very good magnetic pull. So I got a bigger washer, quartered it, stick them in there. It'll work. All right, so that's one of the projects I'm doing. One of the other projects I did yesterday and the day before, all afternoon, I built drawers. And with these, what they call soft close drawer slides, full extension soft drawer slides. Well, this one here broke. While I was trying to put it together, it broke, and it won't quite work. It won't stay in the track. The plastic piece here that is the magnetic, or the, what do you call it, the soft close part. When you pull it out, when you push it back in, it wants to detract. So I'm going to take this one back and get another one. But anyway, I had enough to finish the 3 drawers, and I got a couple more drawers I'm going to build on the other side. So let me show you inside what I did there, okay? Okay, we are in the van now. I've got my kitchen cabinet. Oh, you got to see this. Let me show you this real quick. Put that stuff away. Put these things away. This came out totally different than what I expected it to. All right. It came out totally different than what I expected. This is the kitchen countertop, and what I did, I went down to the hardware store, or no, Hobby Lobby, I mean, and I was looking, trying to figure out something. I got plywood, and had plywood and 3/4 inch plywood, real heavy duty plywood. Cut the hole in here for the kitchen sink and everything. And I thought, well, I want to put oak trim around the edges. That same oak that's on the trim around there, I'm kind of, all the trim work, this trim up here, it's all oak, red oak or white oak. Most of it's red oak. Anyway, I put it all in here, and I wanted to make a trim, so I made some trim pieces around here, and it gives me about a 1/4 inch or 1/8 of an inch lip right here. So if there's water, it won't go over and pour off. And it's sealed with that 2-part epoxy that you pour on, and it self-levels and everything. Well, I didn't want to put that just on plain plywood. I wanted to pretty it up a little bit. So I was sitting and I thought. I got a lot of time to do that, driving down the road, you know. So I sat and thought about it. One of the things I thought was go get an old road atlas, a map road atlas, and cut the pages out, and like different highway, like Route 66 or something like that. And I could put maps on there. And I might actually do that with the doors up here. I don't know. But anyway, I'm just going to put maps in here, glue them down with some kind of a Mod Podge or something like that, glue them down, and then pour the acrylic over the top of that. I thought about that. That sounded good. So I was down at Hobby Lobby walking around, and I come across, cloth. I get some cloth and glue that down. Okay, once it's glued down and dried, then I pour the acrylic over that. What kind of cloth? So I looked, and different kinds of patterns, and I came up with some kind of a Western themed cloth and everything like that. And then I came across this, and it's cloth, and it kind of looks like camouflage, okay, when it's in the cloth form, and you know, it kind of has a camouflage look. And I thought that'd be kind of neat, so I bought that. I laid it out, glued it all down. Actually, what I did is I took epoxy and poured a thin layer out, and kind of smoothed it around with one of those, you know, the trowels where they put what do they call that stuff? When they're putting tile down, the glue. What do they call that stuff? I'll think of it here. But anyway, the trowel has the little notches, so I put that on there and kind of gave it a thin layer, and then put the cloth on top of that, and then trimmed it all around, and then smoothed it all out. So there's glue, or there was, what do you call it, epoxy underneath the cloth and on top of the cloth. I figured it'd really adhere well that way. I was worried about putting it on top of the cloth and it not soaking through good enough, and then later on it peeling off away from the wood, you know. So anyway, I thoroughly impregnated the cloth. Made it, in its wet form, it looks different. You know, you think about clothing, you know, when you get it wet, it looks darker usually. Well, this camouflage look that I was going for, it didn't come out looking camouflaged at all. It came out looking like cattle. We call it like a longhorn steer, you know, the coat, you know, like a cattle hide or a longhorn steer hide, you know. So, man, it came out great. I was like, oh, I can't believe how wonderful. Problem is, I did this right around Christmas time, and it was cold, and it was, you know, it was just real cold, and it took forever for this stuff to set up. And because it was cold, it set up real slowly and everything, and it got a few little imperfections here and there. You know, there's a wrinkle right there, there's a little line right there. Yeah, they're pretty minor though, but you know, there's a little, you can see it's lint, like a little fuzzy right there. And so anyway, it came out a lot better than I expected, but as far as the look, and it came out a little worse than I expected as far as the implementation, because I wasn't in a dust-free environment. But anyway, got that in there. let it dry for about a month, and I finally put this in about a month ago, back in late February, I think, is when I put it into the cabinet, into the counter, into the van here. And I've got this blue tape in here because I'm going to put caulking around here. I need to do that someday. I'll probably do that today, maybe. But anyway, I built this box. If you go back several videos ago, my box. It's my very, I was making fun of the, what was the name of that movie? Full Metal Jacket. This is my gun. There's only one like it. There are many like it, but this one is mine. This is my box. Anyway, I made that stupid video there. Ha ha. So anyway, this is the box and everything. Well, part of it, let's aim you down a little bit. Part of it is drawers, and part of it's a cabinet. And right here is going to be the oven. Not the oven, the stove top. Oh, this. Come on. This stove top is going to sit right here, and I was going to cut it and sink it down in there. The problem is I got this light switch right here, and it's just the right width to put this countersink in, and it would actually sink down into this cabinet under here, and this would be level for the most part. The glass would be above. And oh, it was a great idea. It was such a great idea. But like a dummy, didn't think things all the way through. And I put that light switch right here. If I'd have put it just a little lower, it would have worked. But because I put this here and I dropped that in, that lights, the back of this box here is in the way, and oh well. So what I decided to do is I'm just going to push it right up in this corner right here. And I'm going to put a piece of this oak trim. I'm going to cut me a little piece and put it in here. And actually, I probably won't even do that. I'll probably just caulk it, put caulking around, clear silicone or something. But come up from underneath, drill a hole underneath here for the, oh, where's it at? There it is. This is the lead for the, oops, sorry. This is the lead for the propane. And that will go out from under there and it'll come down through here into this, and down underneath is where the propane tank will sit. And this is set just the exact same, the perfect width for a propane tank, so it can't rattle around. I'll put the propane tank in there, and I'll put a couple bolts in there, strap it in so it won't go anywhere. And I know I'm going to hear a bunch of you guys saying, oh, that's not legal to do. So what? So anyway, nobody else is going to die. If anybody dies, it's me. So I'm not overly worried about it, because every time I use it, I'll go down here and I'll turn the valve off and shut it off. So anyway, not worried about that, and I'm not going to register this van as a RV anyway. I'm just going to leave it as a van the way it is. Seems like kind of an unnecessary thing to do. So anyway, so that's what we got going. We got all that. So anyway, here's the faucet, the spout that goes right in there. I left it off because I'm going to have to get in here with caulking, get in here and put that caulking in, and that'll be in the way. So I just set it up there. So this is all pretty much done. I still got to mount this and put the propane in, but I'm going to do that kind of later. Okay? Wait till a few other things are done first. But what I really wanted to show you was these cabinets. Okay? Now, remember those round wooden knobs? I still have to stain them and polyurethane them and everything. Put them right here. But there you go. Full drawers. This is 9-ply. Well, it's 7-ply with a veneer on either side. So technically it's 9-ply. They call it 7-ply, but there's 9 plies there. It's really high quality plywood. And it's all glued together and nailed and everything. I didn't do any of the, what do you call it, dovetails or anything like that. It's just, because all the bigger these are, I don't think I needed to do that. So they're wood glued together and nailed with finishing nails, ring shank finishing nails. And when you close them, they soft close. Isn't that neat? So now when there's stuff in there and I go around a corner, there's a friction here, okay? They won't want to fall out or come out, okay? They really got to overcome that. There, now they're easy to open. So there, I don't have to lock them in every time I move the van. So I think smart. And what was one of the other things? Let me see here. Oh, let me get you up here. What's one of the other things I did the other day is, a few people mentioned it. Oh, I'm too far away, you can't see me. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to lounge. I'm going to turn you around here. Come on. And oh, sit right here and I'm going to lounge. There we go. Now, some people made comments that my hat was all messed up. When I was doing the interview with the at ARI, there was a big old smudge of grease was over here. I was crawling, getting under the truck. It's a silver belly, silver hat or a gray hat. It's going to show dirt. And I bought this as a work hat. I've got a nice black one at home that I take care of. This one here is just everyday old work hat. But what I lay it on the dash, I've got a little knob of wood glued or double-sided tape with a wood knob on the dash, and I set it, and it sits right up under here, almost like a thumb. Here's the dash, and there's that little knob right there. Okay, I'm gonna try. Oh, I can't bend my fingers. There we go. Kind of like that. That keeps it from sliding down into the air conditioning or the defroster vent, because it does. Then it all wads up in the back. So I put that little knob on there, and I set this on the dash, and it keeps it from sliding down. Well, even though I did all that, this gets pushed up a little bit over time, just every little bit. It starts curling and gives that kind of a curl to it. So I reshaped my hat. When I first bought this, of course, when you first buy them, they look like this. They look like a Texas Highway Patrol hat, the Texas Trooper. They're straight out of the box, curled just like this. And I don't, nobody likes that shape. I don't know. I feel sorry for the troopers. They got to wear those hats because they ought to be allowed to shape them to a little bit, and they don't. So anyway, uniform. So uniformity. Anyway, I bought this, and you soak it in water. Okay. Oh my God, I'm going to get some cowboys saying that ain't the way to do it. You're supposed to steam them. I've worn hats all my life, and that's the way I've always done it. It works fine. It works great. So what you do is you get the hot water or the warm water out of the tap, and you get the water pouring, hitting it about right here. And the way I learned this is I got stuck in the rain one day, and my hat got totally soaked wet, okay? And I noticed it used to have pressure point on the forehead, and there was gaps right here, because I've got what they call a long oval head, okay? My head, if you look at it from the top, it's egg-shaped, long oval, wide, and it narrows down kind of into a point. Okay, more information than you needed to know. But I put a hat on, and it's pretty much a straight oval, okay? You put it on, and I'd have pressure on the forehead, and my temples, I could slide my fingers up in there. I got caught in the rain one day, and my hat formed perfect. It's the most comfortable hat I've ever had. And I'm like, oh, that's the way to do it. So ever since then, this is 30 years ago, ever since then, whenever I buy a new hat, I soak it in water and get it soaking wet, put it on a flat countertop, a kitchen counter, table or whatever, and you flatten it out almost like a drill sergeant's Smokey the Bear hat. A flat, perfectly flat rim, okay, a brim, okay? This is perfectly flat. You put it on your head, and you mold it a little bit, and you push it up and down wherever you want. You stand in front of a mirror, and you shape it and form it exactly the way you want, and then you wear it until it dries out. That's it. And now you got the most comfortable, perfectly fitting hat you'll ever have. So, little old cowboy tip for you. So anyway, one of the other things is whenever you buy new boots, cowboy boots, work boots, any kind of leather, solid, full leather boot, okay, like these old work boots, go stand in the creek. That's what my dad would tell me. Go stand in the creek and get the leather completely soaking wet, and then wear them until they dry out. And the leather will mold and form to your foot, and it'll be the most comfortable pair of boots you've ever owned, okay? I don't usually do that. There's no creek to go stand in, so basically, I learned, you live and learn on this. I just went and got in the bathtub and let water go down inside, wearing my shoes, boots and socks and the whole 9 yards, and just let warm water, because cold water is cold, put warm water down in there so it's comfortable, and it soaks it in from the inside out. It gets the leather soaked a lot quicker that way. So anyway, I did that, and the boot got really, really, soft and everything. Problem is, the time it took me to dry the boots out, walking around drying them, my feet got hurting so bad. When you go to the swimming pool or whatever, bath too long and your fingers wrinkle, well, your toes do the same thing. My feet got sore and wrinkled and everything, and it was very uncomfortable. So the next time I learned, I don't want my feet to stay wet. I want the boots to be wet, but my feet to be dry. Bread bag. Regular old loaf of bread, okay? Remember, you put a loaf of bread over your shoes to go to walk to school. Okay, put your socks on, and put a bread bag on, and then fill your boot full of water and stick that down inside your boot. Your foot stays dry. So anyway, just little tidbits of knowledge. I don't know if it's going to help anybody. It'll help. The boot thing will probably help more people than the hat will, because there's probably a lot more people wearing boots than there are wearing hats. So that's it for me. That's what I've been keeping myself busy with this week. I just wanted to put a video up so you guys didn't. My mom called today. She was worried about me. I haven't seen any videos. I just made sure you's okay. I'm like, yes, Mom, I'm doing just fine. So I love you, Mom. So anyway, take care, and we'll see you. I'll be back on the road next week. Don't know if I have a Monday video, because I probably won't go to work till Monday or Tuesday. I got to turn my taxes in on Monday, so maybe a video on Monday. If not, be the following Wednesday. So ciao, see y'all later, and I got to get back over and get to gluing this stuff up. There we go. Glue my magnets. So adios, ciao.